I didn't cry when he said it. 17 years. One sentence. I'm done. I want a divorce. No hesitation, no flicker of guilt in his eyes. Just the flat certainty of a man who had already built his escape. I signed quietly. My hand didn't shake. The pen glided across the paper as if it had been waiting for this moment. He mistook my silence for surrender. I remember the first time I saw him, a crowded university library, his tie loosened, sleeves rolled up, a boy who smiled as though he could bend the world with it. I was foolish enough to believe him. We built a life. Laughter, nights on the beach, whispered promises no one else could hear. He held me like I was his anchor. I believed I was. But anchors can be cut loose. The distance began as shadows, late nights at work, his phone always face down, a cologne I didn't recognize clinging to his shirts. I noticed, but I didn't accuse. I waited. Patience has always been sharper than rage. The truth came on a Tuesday. He stepped out of the shower, humming, phone lighting up on the counter. A message appeared before my eyes. Can't wait until she's out of the picture. Forever yours. Her name glowed in black letters. His secretary. The betrayal didn't burn. It crystallized. He thought he had written the script. Divorce, new life, young woman on his arm. Me fading into the background. But I know how stories end. They don't belong to the ones who shout the loudest. They belong to the one who waits, listens, and strikes when silence is mistaken for weakness. I began where he wouldn't look, his father, a stern man, the kind who believed in legacy, not fleeting lust. I'd been the dutiful daughter-in-law for years, silent but present. He trusted me enough to share the details of his estate before he died. The will was clear. His son's fortune, the family business, the properties, all tied to stability. Divorce her, lose everything. His father's words, not mine. At the time, I hadn't thought it mattered. I had believed in forever. Now forever was gone. But his father's words remained. I let him believe he had won. I signed the papers, moved out, lived quietly. I gave him the illusion of freedom. Illusions make men careless. He paraded her through restaurants, hand in hand, laughter loud enough to echo. Friends whispered to me, testing if I would break. I smiled instead. Then the invitations arrived. A party, grand, glittering, loud. His announcement, their engagement. The beach we once claimed as ours. He would stand there with her, rewriting history with champagne and cameras. I dressed simply. White dress, no jewelry, hair pulled back. I wanted him to see what he'd discarded, and how little it weighed on me. I carried only one thing, an envelope. The night was warm, the ocean restless behind us. Laughter spilled from the tent, glasses clinked, cameras flashed. He stood at the center, his hand resting on her waist like I'd once thought it would rest on mine forever. Then he saw me. A flicker, surprise, then irritation, then something harder to disguise. Fear. I walked toward him, every step measured. Conversations faltered, heads turned, whispers stirred. I smiled, calm, as if I belonged there. I stopped in front of him, close enough that he could smell my perfume, the one his father had once said made me smell like home. I handed him the envelope. He frowned, opened it. His face drained as he read. The will. His father's signature, the words sharp and final. Divorce her, lose the fortune. The silence cracked like glass. His fiancée's voice pierced it first, a scream, shrill, disbelieving. She grabbed the paper, eyes wide as she read the words that unraveled her future. She pushed him away as though he'd infected her. Cameras caught everything. He reached for me. You knew! His voice was broken, desperate. I always knew, I whispered. The party collapsed around him. Guests slipped away, whispers spreading like fire. His fiancée fled, heels sinking into the sand, dress clutched in trembling hands. He stood alone, papers limp in his grip, fortune slipping through his fingers faster than the tide pulling at the shore. I turned away. My heels sank into the same sand where we once made promises, where he kissed me under stars and called me his forever. The ocean roared behind me, but inside me, there was only silence. People ask if revenge satisfies. They don't understand. This wasn't revenge. This was restoration. He took 17 years from me, but I took his illusion of victory. I left him exactly where he deserved to be, empty, exposed, powerless. I didn't need to raise my voice. I didn't need to scream or cry. All I needed was silence. Silence, patience, and one signature he had overlooked. Now, when I walk past mirrors, I don't see the woman he abandoned. I see the woman who waited, planned, and chose the ending. Justice isn't loud. It's quiet. It waits. And when it arrives, it doesn't knock. It smiles.